Hi guys, my name is Taylor from Reads, and I am so honored to be here as a guest contributor for Literary Gladiators. I thought I would use this opportunity to showcase some of my favorite first lines from books. Now, I first got this idea from Max from Well Done Books, who of course makes amazing videos, so you should definitely check him out if you haven't already. But I loved this idea because the opening lines of a book can really provide the foundation for your opinion on the whole thing almost. It can be a really make or break situation. So keeping that in mind, I just wanted to show off some opening lines that I think are really exceptional. The first of which is from Burial Rites, which is of course the very highly regarded debut novel from Hannah Kent. The plot centers on the life of the last woman to be executed in Iceland, and it genuinely put the fear of death in me. The first paragraph reads, "They said I must die. They said that I stole the breath from men, and now they must steal mine. I imagine then that we are all candle flames, greasy bright, fluttering in the darkness and the howl of the wind, and in the stillness of the room I hear footsteps, awful coming footsteps, coming to blow me out and send my life up away from me in a grey wreath of smoke. I will vanish into the air and in the night. They will blow us all out, one by one, until it is only their own light by which they see themselves. Where will I be then?" Every time I read this, I'm struck by how gorgeous the writing style is and how commanding the narrative voice is. I struggled to pick just one from this next author, but I eventually settled on Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut. This is a tale of a meeting of two lonesome, skinny, fairly old white men on a planet which was dying fast. One of them was a science fiction writer named Kilgore Trout. He was nobody at the time, and he supposed his life was over. He was mistaken. As a consequence of the meeting, he became one of the most beloved and respected human beings in history. The man he met was an automobile dealer, a Pontiac dealer, named Dwayne Hoover. Dwayne Hoover was on the brink of going insane. I feel like no one really does an intro like Vonnegut, or novels for that matter. You instantly get a sense of his writing, his characters, his irreverence, and on top of that, it's compelling. You really want to know how these puzzle pieces are going to fit together, and you get the sense that it might be a little bit of a wild ride, which of course it is. Anyone who is around my age and who grew up reading will probably be very familiar with this book. This is Al Capone Does My Shirts by Gennifer Choldenko. This is a middle grade novel set on the island of Alcatraz, which is a now defunct prison, and I just love the first paragraph. "Today I moved to a 12-acre rock covered with cement, topped with bird turd, and surrounded by water. Alcatraz sits smack in the middle of the bay. So close to the city of San Francisco, I can hear them call the score on the baseball game on the Marina Green." Okay, not that close, but still. You're immediately engaged. You get a sense of youth and vibrancy and the setting itself, which is amazing. This is also definitely a middle grade novel that could easily be enjoyed by adults or young adults, or pretty much about anybody, I think. My second to last pick is from The Lone Ranger and Tonto Fistfight in Heaven by Sherman Alexie, which is easily one of my favorite short story collections of all time. These stories are semi-autobiographical and focus on life in a Native American reservation in the Pacific Northwest. Although it was winter, the nearest ocean 400 miles away, and the tribal weatherman asleep because of boredom, a hurricane dropped from the sky in 1976 and fell so hard on the Spokane Indian Reservation that it knocked Victor from his bed and his latest nightmare. These stories can range from vaguely humorous to heartbreaking to utterly bizarre, and that first paragraph does such an incredible job of capturing his brand of what almost borders on magical realism. Lastly, I have the first part of what is easily one of my favorite YA novels of all time. This is The Astonishing Life of Octavian Nothing, Traitor to the Nation by M.T. Anderson. "I was raised in a gaunt house with a garden. My earliest recollections are of floating lights in the apple trees. I recall, in the orchard behind the house, orbs of flames rising through the black boughs and branches. They climbed, spiritus, and flickered out. My mother squeezed my hand with delight. We stood near the door to the ice chamber. By the well, servants lit bubbles of gas on fire, clad in frock coats of asbestos. Around the orchard and garden stood a wall of some height, designed to repel the glance of idle curiosity and to keep us all from slipping away and running for freedom, though that, of course, I did not yet understand. How doth all that seeks to rise burn itself to nothing?" I mean, come on. For me personally, that is the single most compelling, breathtakingly written piece of young adult fiction I have ever read. And for the record, the whole thing is just as well written. It's just exquisite. So those are 5 of my favorite first lines of novels that I've read. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video, and once again thank you so much to Literary Gladiators for reaching out and allowing me to be a guest contributor here on your channel. Have a great rest of your day!